right, we're back. Breaking news. So subscribe to the channel. Definitely hit the subscriber button. You can hit the join button and become a member of this infrastructure over here. Let's make sure the audio and all that stuff is good. That's good there. So, breaking news. This is going to shock the world, in my humble opinion, because it definitely shocked me, but it's going to shock the world for sure. And I think civil war is on the menu. Yes, I do. I think a civil war is about to be, it could happen. I think it's going to happen. So Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 felony charges of falsifying business records. First president to be convicted in history. Brandt's trial rigged and a disgrace ahead of July 11th sentencing that could see him jailed. So July 11th, they're going to sentence him. Okay, let's put this here. So the verdict's in. Donald Trump trial verdict. Jury finds former president guilty on all 34 counts in hush money criminal case. Trump speaks after being found guilty. Says country gone to hell. I agree with him. Yeah, I agree with that statement. So we're going to play that up.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right...
Are you worried about going to jail? This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace.
I agree.
There was a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
I agree.
They know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man.
I agree.
It's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess.
Yes, we do.
A nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
So it's going to get messy, man. It's going to get really, really ugly coming down the pike. Trump came out of the courtroom visibly perturbed after the jury found him guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. And then that was his quote. Breaking, Trump is found guilty on all 34 counts. It's a disgrace, man. Donald Trump is guilty in historic hush money trial. What happens now after the jury convicts Donald Trump convicts Donald Trump of all 34 counts in hush money case? Here's what it means. What happens now after Trump was convicted in the hush money case? A guilty verdict means Donald Trump faces a pre-sentencing interview, report, and sentencing before his lawyers are able to appeal the case. The verdict is in, and Donald Trump is the first former president in United States history to ever be convicted of a crime. So what about Obama? What about all the other presidents? Are you telling me that their hands are clean? Really? You tell me that their hands are so clean? Bill Clinton? Huh? But it's him. They picked him. A New York jury found the ex-president, Republican presidential nominee, guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records, and he will be sentenced on July 11th. July 11th. July 11th is double ones, right? 111. Or sorry, 1-1. So double ones equals 2. Interesting to use right after the holiday. Interesting. That's really quick too. Really quick too. Trump's legal team is expected. Wait, July is the 7th month? Yeah, I was trying to do some, numerology, but it didn't work. So Trump's legal team is expected to appeal, but the unprecedented conviction sets off a process that convicted criminals face across in the Manhattan criminal court system. Despite his conviction, he can still run for president and is expected to furiously campaign before his expected rematch with President Joe Biden. The judge has discretion when it comes to sentencing, so he will face jail, or will he get probation? He might get probation, maybe. Biden-Harris campaign says no one is above the law and warns Trump is still a threat to democracy. Oh, my God. Biden-Harris 2024 communications director Michael Tyler on Trump's guilty verdict. I'm not going to read it, but that's it. Senate Republicans slammed Trump's guilty verdict as a political maneuver from President Joe Biden. Marco Rubio said something. All right. Donald Trump speaks inside the courtroom. House GOP lawmakers express outrage at Trump being found guilty on all 34 counts. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump's son, Don Jr., blasts guilty verdict such BS. That's what he says. Trump's sentencing date set for July 11th. And then look, the jury delivers its verdict, 34 counts. Guilty, 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 guilty. So he's guilty on all, even though Michael Cohen lied. Even though Michael Cohen said that he stole money from Donald Trump, they still found him guilty. Wow, man. Trump looks at each juror as they confirm the 34 counts. This was delivered by the jury foreman, answering with one word each time. He was asked for a verdict on each of the 34 counts. House pay you to count 34, guilty. He responds each time. Trump looks dead ahead, a scowl on his face. He leans back, eyes half closed, showing his usual indifference to proceedings. Then the court clerk asks each of the 12 jurors if the verdict reflects their view. Now Trump twists to the right, looking intently at each. He bobs his head at juror number 2. He told the court at the start of this that he gets his news from, and they spelled Truth Social wrong, Truth Social, and there was wild speculation that he could be a Trumpy holdout. In the end, all 12 jurors agreed Trump is guilty. Judge Merchan thanks the jury for their service. Of course he does. All rise. The jury enters. Man, this is disgusting. Pray for President Trump and his family. Elise Stefanik. Trump allies send well wishes ahead of the verdict. This was part of their plan. Trump's nemesis, Alvin Bragg, takes his seat. Yeah, this was part of the plan. So I think they're going to jail him. I think they're going to jail him just to prove a point. So everybody's going crazy right now. So what can we say? We're going to put Trump here. Everybody's going to be going crazy. So we're going to go with this one here first, and then we'll let it play through. I mean, I don't really need to play their narrative, but I'll play it.
Being granted a change of venue was paid off to keep silent about the affair. Again, final days of that campaign, an allegation Donald Trump has denied. Daniels, of course, is the adult film star who has publicly alleged that she had sex with Trump in 2006 and was paid off to keep silent about the affair. Again,
so what's the problem that she was paid off?
Donald Trump has denied.
Like, it doesn't make no sense.
Pecker is another key name in this trial. He is the
I'll speed
former
it up a little
publisher
bit.
of the National Enquirer who allegedly helped broker the deal with Stormy Daniels and arranged to what they call catch and kill the story about the affair between Trump and another actress by the name of Karen McDougal. Pecker has been granted immunity in the federal investigation in exchange for his testimony before a grand trial. So all of that has happened. Karen McDougal was the one other name that I mentioned, a model and actress who had said she had a months-long affair with Trump in 2006 and was paid $150,000 to keep quiet about it by the National Enquirer. Again, another allegation that Donald Trump has denied. But prosecutors have been using the payoffs as evidence that the schemes were aimed at protecting Trump's electoral chances, and thus they argue this is not about his private morals and his behavior and his of all 34 counts he faced at the hush money criminal trial. This is the jury verdict. They are now reading that verdict inside the courtroom. The CBC's Katie Simpson is in New York City. She has been covering this for us, so we want to go to Katie very quickly. So Katie, the news moving, Donald Trump found guilty, and I hear from those cheers. He's in New York City, a city he called home. What are your thoughts?
Right now, we are in the park across the street from the courthouse, and we're in the designated area where the Trump critics have been holding their demonstrations. The minute the word came out from the court that there was at least one guilty verdict, we heard screams and cheers. I'm going to mill about in here to see if there's anyone that we can sort of talk to get some initial reaction to this. But there are people who have been celebrating. We just take a look over here. This woman has been down here for quite a few of the days. She was here when Trump was initially indicted more than a year and a half ago.
That's their connection. That's not my connection.
As she was sort of out here with this sign.
Look,
people celebrating on this side of the park. We're going to see if there's any other people here who are celebrating. The one thing I will note, David, is that as these proceedings have been underway and going on, there were far fewer Trump critics than Trump supporters. And hold on, we're going to bring someone in right now. Hi, we're from the Canadian Public Broadcaster. What's your name?
My name is Susan.
And why are you here today?
I'm here to protect and fight for democracy.
So what is your reaction to finding out that Donald Trump is guilty on all 34 charges?
I'm ecstatic that he's finally being held accountable for something.
Oh my God. I'm ecstatic that what about Joe Biden being held accountable for what he's done? 10% for the big guy. What are you talking about? Oh man, this makes me sick to my stomach.
Did you think this would happen?
I wasn't sure, but
I predicted it. I predicted it on Tuesday with my mom on the phone. So I'll be calling you. So Mom, if you're listening, I'm going to be calling you a little bit later.
No, we've been living with Donald Trump for many decades here, and we know many of us know him as a con man. So it's not surprising to us. But it's really just about, this was election interference. This was the thing that he always complains about with his fake big lie.
What are you talking about? All the information that we know about the Hunter Biden laptop, Trump got up there and said, hey, listen, there's a laptop from hell. The deep state literally withheld that vital piece of information so Joe Biden could win, because people, they did a poll. If they found out, if they didn't suppress the Hunter Biden laptop and they found that out, they would have probably voted for Trump in the 2020 election. So what is she talking about? Like, this is what I mean, man. Like, this is the kind of manipulations and cogs in a machine that I'm talking about. Anyway,
that the election was done. Everything that he says others are doing, he is doing. He is guilty of. That's Donald Trump.
What do you think this is going to do for his election
Oh
campaign?
my God.
That is a very good.
Should I pull it up? I guess I'm going to pull it up. Just give me a second, man. Okay, 1 second. Let's go to DuckDuckGo. Okay. Look. I'm going to show you right now. Take a look at this. Unbelievable. Look at this. I'm going to show you. Okay? Here we go. Hunter Biden implies Joe was the big guy, but denies his father got involved in a China deal. Hunter Biden has addressed why one of his business partners suggested giving the big guy an ownership stake in a joint venture with a Chinese company. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, but I'm going to show you. Hold on. Let's go with this one here. Okay. Hunter Biden, the big guy, and whether allegations of corruption represent a scandal or a smear. So you can't say that the man is guilty, but they're not prosecuting Joe Biden or his son. I think they're going to do it, but like, it's amazing. Hold on. Right? This is why China owns this country. Right? Hunter Biden grand jury witness was asked who was the big guy in Chinese deal. Right? So the March 13, 2017 plan included 10 held by H for the big guy. 10 held by H for the big guy. Okay. Another former Hunter Biden partner, United States Navy veteran, Tony Bobulinski, later revealed that the big guy was Hunter's dad. Then the Democrat candidate for president saying, I have heard Joe Biden say he has never discussed his dealings with Hunter. That is false. So what is this woman talking about? What is she talking about? I don't know what just happened here. Go back for a second. Oh, yeah, here it is here. There it is right there. So are they going to prosecute Joe Biden? That's what I'm asking. Right? The big guy was Hunter's dad, the then Democrat candidate for president, saying, I heard it was Joe Biden. So 10% for the big guy. That's Joe Biden. Right? Okay, anyway, I got to look at more of it, but that's the point. We know 10% was for Joe Biden, but there's another part here that you need to see. Okay, I want to show you this, right? I was going to show you earlier. One second. This news. Here you go. You guys ready? This one's for you. And I think this is why they convicted him. Because Trump is not for China. I don't think he is anyway. Okay? Here you go. Let's put that there. You guys can't see it. Hold on. I want the one from Daily Mail. Where is it? Where is it? This one might just have to do for now. So it says, I'm going to make the screen bigger so you can see that. Okay, so there you go. Right? So this is a terrifying map, shows just how much farmland China owns in the United States. But I want to do a Daily Mail, though. That's what I want to show you. So it makes sense why, Joe Biden would do this deal, because he's a corrupt politician. And he's doing the deal because China owns America and Canada. Hold on. Farmland. That's why they don't want him in office, because he wants to stop that. Yeah, I don't know where it's at, man. It doesn't matter. This is gonna have to do. Okay, so it says the upcoming House Farm Bill will contain measures to restrict foreign entities like China from scooping up American farmland, in a big win for national security. A Republican who helped secure the provisions told Daily Mail. Foreign entities own a total of 40 million acres of United States farmland, and China has bought up nearly 347,000 acres, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA. Now, lawmakers are working to further restrict China and other adversaries from snatching up coveted land in the fiscal year of 2024 Farm Bill. This is the map here. We're going to put this down. That's how much farmland China owns in America. So I would think they're trying to say Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. Look how much farmland they own, even in Texas. It's crazy. Right? The Chinese land purchases near important United States military installations have been a particular concern for lawmakers and government officials. Right? So they're buying, right? They're buying farmland close to military bases. But anyway, let's go back to this thing. So I don't know what this woman's talking about. I have no idea, but it's crazy.
I have heard that independents have said, if he's convicted, I'm not voting for him. So, and he fought tooth and nail not to have this trial happen because he knew it was bad news. It's also, I mean, it's bad news with women voters. It's bad news with independents.
Of course.
It's hard to know, you know? And
of course.
I don't know if there was an election interference by Russia and Saudis and people with money.
Oh,
so
yeah. Yeah.
Now, I ask this because of what the world witnessed on January 6th. Are you concerned that there could be,
man, their narrative is dangerous, man.
That breaches violence?
Yes, but
or somebody left the sprinklers on, and look around you, see what else corroborates one side of the other.
I don't want to, let me see. Let's go to this.
Step into Wix Studio.
I don't want to hear their narrative, man. We've heard it for years now. Okay, so this is outside. Okay, so this was Trump speaking. Hold on. So I'm going to let it play through so you can see what was going on down there in New York. You know? So we're going to watch him come out. Okay, here he is here.
Mr. Trump, what do you have to say to the American people? Mr. Trump, I don't know the eviction balance. Are you worried about going to jail?
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out? You believe in the rule of law? You trust the jury? Are you worried about your country right? Are you worried about jail?
Oh, man. Let me show you a tweet by Michael Cohen, the same liar. Look at this. I was just looking. This is what Michael Cohen just tweeted. He tweeted this. This is the same, right? This is the same guy that lied. Oh man. Right? Michael Cohen tweeted, guilty on all counts, Team Cohen. And it says verdict. You see how they do it red and black? It's kind of like to scare you and shit. But anyway, 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. And he posted this, right? It got 680,000 views. Right? And then someone posted, Michael Cohen says he stole tens of thousands of dollars from Trump's company. So he steals money, testifies, then posts his verdict. Yeah, convicted felon Trump. Wow. Someone said wrongfully convicted. Oh, man, they're going to have a field day. So here's what somebody's saying here.
My president who I voted for in 2016 twice and in 2020 twice, primary and general election, who I will vote for again in 2024.
Oh, I believe people will be doing this. If I was an American, I'd do the same thing. What else do we have? I just want to show you some of the tweets here. Let's see it. Oh, Alex Jones posted this. Okay, let's see what Alex is saying.
We are now 24 counts in, all guilty from inside. This is what we are hearing from our producers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Guilty. Now remember,
You knew it was coming. It's a rigged jury in New York, and they're saying every count is guilty because the judge told them, you feel like he's guilty? Remember what the law says? He's guilty. So President Trump, in a rigged, weaponized trial for something he never even did, is guilty because they don't want him to be able to run for office. This is going to backfire on these criminals. They're using lawfare to control people.
Yep.
And it looks to me like they'll convict him on every count. I predicted today you would see this come out because the jury followed the judge's directive.
I predicted it on Tuesday. Private call with my mama. With my mom.
You don't have to be unanimous that he committed any crime. Just if you think anything he did was wrong, just convict him on everything. So this is the malfeasance of the judge. This is the fraud of the judge. And President Trump found guilty on how many counts? They're reading them out. We're learning right now. Probably all of them. They'll leave one or two out to act like, they were being fair.
Well,
so this is total weaponization. I've been through it where judges find me guilty. They have a show trial to find out how guilty I am. And I told you, they're coming for you. There it is. Turn it up right now. Can't wait till Trump comes out.
They got that information back to them this morning. By the end
Count
of
12.
day 2,
We're doomed, man.
we're at 34 guilty counts
It's over.
for the former president of the United States of America.
It's a historic trial of the former president of the United States by his partisan adversaries. Whatever you think of the results, it's inconceivable in New York that anyone else other than Donald Trump would ever been indicted in this way.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump.
I think it's crazy. Everyone give him a round of applause for this one. Let's listen to Pauly Pierre.
We're leveraging transit
There he
funding to
is.
build more homes. We're launching a housing design catalog. He's announcing a catalog, everybody.
Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Hey, right on. Give him a round of applause. Come on, give him a round of applause. You can't afford a home. You might end up in a tent. Your rent is doubled. But hey, you've got a brand new catalog. Mr. Speaker, the question was, will he build 550,000 new homes, yes or no?
The answer is no. He's not doing any of that. He's just, he has a catalog.
Shock.
Hold on. Let's see if we get. All right. He has a catalog. I think it's on. They only show a clip of it, but you have to. I think it's on some. Okay, let's listen to this part.
In an interview with the Halifax Chronicle, the Prime Minister has had a revelation. In an interview with the Halifax Chronicle Herald, he told how he responded to people asking for him to spend even more government money. And he said, and I quote, as soon as you do that, inflation goes up by exactly the same amount. Right? Right. Why didn't I think of that? My goodness. Spending money you don't have actually causes inflation. If he's in the middle of having epiphanies, has he also realized that budgets don't balance themselves?
The Conservative Party has been using that approach about concerns on inflation to stand against things like national food programs for kids or dental care for seniors. They have stood and objected against and even campaigned against dental care for seniors over the past many months. But we've delivered to over 100,000 seniors of the 2 million who've already registered for dental care, the support that they hadn't gotten in years or even decades. But he stands against it with some made-up excuse around inflation when delivering services delivers for Canadians.
Dictator.
He calls his own words a made-up excuse, Mr. Speaker. You can't make this stuff up. He said that when people ask him, can you send us more benefits or send us an extra $1,000 a month? Well, he responds, as soon as you do that, inflation goes up by exactly the same amount. Right?
Speaker, that is exactly why over the past years we've
create
been
the
focused on
problem,
bringing down inflation.
right? They created the problem. Don't forget it.
It is working for the past 4 months, Mr. Speaker.
Right? They
Inflation
create
has
the
been
problem.
down in the bank account of the target range while we continue to increase supports for Canadians, increase dental care for Canadians with Conservatives that campaigned against, supports for senior supports for young people, increased investments in childcare, bringing childcare fees down to $10 a day. These are the investments we're making that do not add to inflation, but add to Canadians' well-beings as they're making ends meet. That's what we stand for, Mr. Speaker.
He finally, for once, thought about monetary policy. He said, as soon as you spend more, inflation goes up by exactly the same amount. Right. And he is right for once. But repeating the same costly promises that he has already broken does not change that fundamental monetary rule. So will the Prime Minister acknowledge that, yes, the economy is about numbers, that people pay their rent in numbers, their gas in numbers, their groceries in numbers, and that the numbers are too high?
It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to